Hi, Beth Melcher, MoneyFit. We're small business advisors in Northern Michigan. And if you are a small business owner and you have payroll and you've paid unemployment taxes in the state of Michigan, you have something that you have to do within the next 2 weeks before you file your next round of unemployment taxes to the state of Michigan. You probably got a letter in the mail that looks something like this. And it is telling you that MiUI, the website that we use to file and pay taxes for unemployment is going away. It's going from MiUI to a new website. It's MiUI. We're going to call it MiUI. I don't know. But I want to walk you through the steps so you can move your login and get ready to pay your taxes. Better to do it now than when your taxes are due and you're in a rush. So step one is to log into MiUI. When you log into MiUI, you're going to want to get your MiUI activation code. Mine's down there, and your website's going to look a little bit different because mine is for an accounting firm because we access more than one client. What yours will look like is something like this. This was a screenshot that was offered by the unemployment agency. So just look for something that says MiUI activation code and grab these numbers and write them down. Then once you get your 8-digit MiUI activation code, you're going to want to go to a link at michigan.gov. So guess where that is? So I'm in, this is the michigan.gov/UIA website. It actually bounces and has really weird URL. Not to worry, that's what's supposed to happen. Scroll all the way down here and click this link, login for employers here. Now I had to open an incognito browser to show you what that looks like. But once you click that, it's going to take you to this website where you're going to use this MI login for business. I had to do the lookup user ID and passcode because I didn't have that one saved. But once you do that and you log in, the next thing that's going to pop up on your screen, it's going to, I had to accept some terms and conditions on the previous page, but then it just took me here. So then the next thing we're going to do, we need to select this employer account initiation here. At least that's the one that's going to work for people who have already submitted unemployment insurance. So we just read this. If you're an employer, you've already registered for an unemployment account. This is your first time logging into MiUI. This will allow you to link your accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. One moment, I'll be right back. This next page is asking you for 3 pieces of information. The first is your federal employment ID. The second is your employer account EAN, your employer account number. That number is from your MiUI quarterly reports. It's not your federal tax ID number. So go back and look at an old quarterly report that you filed to pay payroll taxes. That's like your account number from MiUI. So I'm sure you guys have that number. And then the last one is the activation code that you just collected, the 8-digit code from the previous screens. I'll put that information in here and then authenticate. Okay, and I put in my federal tax ID number. And in case I didn't know it, I just looked at an old 941 form that had already been filed. And so I could grab my number off of that. If you are worried that you haven't tracked your federal tax ID number correctly, go back and ask the IRS for your SS4 form. That is absolutely 100% officially your federal tax ID number if it ever comes into question. Then my EAN number from one of the payroll employer quarterly tax and wage reports that I had filed at unemployment. By the way, my UIA employer account number, when I entered it in, it did not want the last 3 zeros that are typically a part of your EAN. So don't worry about not entering those. And then I took the 8-digit code that we just pulled from the MiUI website, and I got this. So we're all done. Thanks so much. Good luck. Bye.